Imagine waking up tomorrow and seeing silver breaking $200 an ounce. A surge so powerful it shakes the markets and puts the Fed on high alert, giving Powell only 48 hours to respond. In that moment, the world reminds you that opportunity waits for no one, and the question isn't if you're ready, but whether you've prepared to seize it. There's a quiet power in recognizing these rare windows, moments where history whispers its secrets to those paying attention. And the truth is, silver has been speaking to us for centuries, a tangible, unshakable asset that grows in value when the system falters. I remember my first encounter with precious metals, the hesitation, the fear of acting too soon, and the regret of acting too late. What I learned is that wealth isn't just about numbers. It's about mindset, about understanding when to step forward while others stand frozen. Silver is more than an investment. It's a statement, a shield against uncertainty, a path to freedom that allows you to live on your terms, to create a life not dictated by the whims of inflation or market panic. People who transformed their lives through silver didn't just buy ounces. They bought resilience, patience, and a strategic vision. Take, for example, the entrepreneur who quietly accumulated silver during market dips, who watched friends panic as prices soared, only to realize that consistent, informed action created the leverage to live without financial fear. It's the same lesson applied everywhere in life. Preparation meets opportunity, and when they align, extraordinary outcomes follow. Building wealth with silver isn't about chasing hype. It's about disciplined accumulation, understanding cycles, and recognizing the subtle signals the world provides. Micro decisions, like deciding to allocate even a small portion of savings to physical silver, compound into life-altering results over time. The moment you accept that risk as the currency of reward, your entire perspective changes. You begin to see the difference between immediate gratification and long-term security, between following the crowd and leading your own path. Each ounce you hold is more than metal. It's a lesson in patience, courage, and strategic foresight. As markets shift and global uncertainty grows, the narrative becomes clear. Those who act with insight now will enjoy the freedom of choice tomorrow. Don't wait for confirmation from headlines or for the Fed's next move to dictate your future. Embrace the lesson that silver offers, cultivate a mindset that sees opportunity in volatility, and take consistent, calculated steps toward building wealth that no economic storm can shake. The road to financial freedom is paved with decisions made quietly, confidently, and with purpose, and each choice you make now compounds into a legacy of security, growth, and independence. Imagine waking up one morning to a world that feels familiar yet somehow charged with tension. Headlines scream about volatility, investors scramble, and the Federal Reserve convenes an emergency meeting with Jerome Powell under the weight of a global spotlight, tasked with decisions that will ripple across economies and affect millions. In the midst of this chaos, silver quietly moves, breaking $200 an ounce, a rare phenomenon that most people fail to notice until it's too late. Yet those who understand the language of precious metals know that these moments are more than numbers. They are signals, whispers from history reminding us that true opportunity often comes wrapped in uncertainty. The first thing to understand is that silver has always been a store of value, a tangible asset that exists outside the whims of digital ledgers, speculative bubbles, and central bank policies. Unlike fiat currencies, which can be inflated away, silver has intrinsic value. It is something you can hold, feel, and secure. This is why investors who have built lasting wealth often turn to precious metals when the world shows signs of instability. I remember my own journey with silver, starting with hesitation and small steps, feeling uncertain about timing and strategy. There were nights I questioned whether buying now was wise, whether the price might drop further, whether I was too late. But the key lesson I learned is that wealth isn't built by avoiding risk entirely. It is built by understanding risk, timing, and the alignment of opportunity. The beauty of silver lies in its dual role. It is both a defensive asset and a growth vehicle. When the markets fluctuate wildly, silver can act as a hedge, preserving purchasing power, and yet, when scarcity and demand intersect, it becomes an engine of wealth creation. People often ask how ordinary individuals can leverage silver in a meaningful way. The answer isn't in trying to time every market surge or panic. It's in cultivating a strategy, a mindset, and the discipline to act consistently. Consider the story of investors who quietly accumulated silver over years, not during headlines or market frenzies, but steadily, ounce by ounce, month by month. They understood that small, informed actions compound into extraordinary results. They watched peers panic, selling at a loss, while their patient accumulation positioned them to capitalize when the market shifted dramatically. One investor I know began buying silver during a period of economic stagnation, using a fixed monthly allocation from his income. At first, the gains were imperceptible, almost invisible. Friends laughed, saying he was wasting money on something intangible, something that wasn't a real investment. But he persisted, guided by research, historical trends, and the understanding that silver's value would always be recognized over time. By the time silver surged past critical levels, he held enough to transform his financial position, not because he chased hype, but because he respected the lesson of patience and compounding. This teaches an essential principle. Wealth creation is not about instant gratification. It's about disciplined, strategic accumulation. It's about seeing beyond the noise of daily market movements and recognizing patterns that history has repeated many times over. Another powerful insight from silver investing is the alignment of mindset and action. Many people fail to act, not because they lack capital, but because they are paralyzed by indecision, waiting for perfect timing that never comes. The reality is that the perfect moment rarely exists. Opportunity appears in imperfection, and those who are prepared to act decisively, even amidst uncertainty, are the ones who thrive. Imagine the market as a vast ocean where waves of fear and greed rise and fall constantly. Silver is a vessel, reliable and sturdy, that allows those who understand it to navigate the storm. But the vessel alone is not enough. The navigator must be skilled, attentive, and willing to act when the tide shifts. Every ounce purchased during calm periods is like placing a stake in the future, a signal that you are committed to your financial independence. The psychological benefits of holding silver are equally significant. Unlike speculative assets that fluctuate wildly, precious metals instill confidence and security. Holding silver is a tactile reminder that wealth can be preserved, that your future is not solely dependent on volatile markets or government policy. It fosters a mindset of self-reliance, of strategic foresight, which extends beyond investing into other areas of life, influencing decisions, habits, and long-term planning. People who embrace silver investing often develop a heightened awareness of opportunity in general. They begin to notice economic signals, market imbalances, and trends that others overlook. This awareness is not about paranoia. It's about informed vigilance, a proactive stance that allows for calculated action rather than reactive panic. In addition, silver teaches lessons about timing, patience, and the importance of incremental growth. Every small purchase compounds, every careful decision accumulates value over time, and every ounce held reinforces the principle that wealth is built gradually with consistency and intention. There's also a profound lesson in resilience embedded in silver investing. Economic shocks, inflation, and financial crises may destabilize currencies, disrupt markets, and create widespread uncertainty. But silver remains a steadfast measure of value that carries lessons from centuries past. Those who understand this resilience integrate it into their lives, learning not just to survive uncertainty, but to leverage it into opportunity. Strategic accumulation of silver is not merely a financial decision, it is a mindset shift. It reinforces patience, discipline, and foresight, cultivating qualities that are transferable to business, personal development, and life in general. When silver breaks through major thresholds, such as $200 an ounce, it is not just a market event. It is a historical signal, a marker of wealth transformation for those positioned to act. People often underestimate the magnitude of such moments. They see numbers and charts, but they fail to grasp the human stories behind them. The individual who quietly accumulated wealth, the family that secured a future, the entrepreneur who seized opportunity while others hesitated. This is why timing and awareness are critical. Waiting for perfect certainty leads to missed opportunities. Understanding the interplay of scarcity, demand, and historical precedent provides the insight necessary to act decisively. Micro-actions, such as consistently setting aside a portion of income to acquire silver, researching market trends, or consulting experts, may seem small in isolation, but over months and years, they produce compounding results that can fundamentally change financial trajectories. The journey also teaches humility and patience. Markets fluctuate, predictions fail, and fear can be contagious. But a disciplined approach anchored in knowledge, strategy, and awareness produces enduring outcomes. Every ounce held is a reflection of foresight, resilience, and the willingness to take action when it matters most. Furthermore, silver reminds us of the broader principles of wealth beyond money: freedom, choice, and the ability to make decisions unconstrained by circumstance. Holding silver is not simply about profit, it is about creating optionality in life, the capacity to navigate uncertainty with confidence, and the freedom to pursue passions, take calculated risks, and live intentionally. Each strategic acquisition builds not only financial security, but a mindset attuned to opportunity, resilience, and long-term vision, to anticipate opportunity instead of waiting for permission, and to act decisively when the moment arises. Another critical lesson is the power of awareness. Markets move rapidly, and the average person misses subtle signals, waiting for headlines or confirmation before taking action. Those who succeed in silver investing cultivate a heightened sense of observation. They notice demand trends, supply constraints, and historical patterns, connecting dots that others ignore. This awareness transforms risk into opportunity and positions informed investors to act decisively when silver breaks key thresholds or when economic indicators suggest a shift is imminent. Silver also teaches patience and humility. Unlike speculative markets that promise quick returns and demand constant attention, the value of silver grows steadily, rewarding those who commit to the process and resist the temptation to chase hype. Each purchase, no matter how small, is an investment not only in wealth but in discipline and foresight. Over time, these small actions accumulate, producing compounding effects that can fundamentally alter financial trajectories. Finally, investing in silver is a lesson in empowerment. It reminds us that true financial freedom comes from knowledge, strategy, and action. It's not about reacting to fear or speculation. It's about positioning oneself in alignment with long-term trends, understanding value, and having the courage to act while others hesitate. Each ounce acquired, each informed decision made, becomes a building block for independence, opportunity, and resilience, creating a foundation that can withstand uncertainty and provide the freedom to live life on your own terms. When silver breaks major price barriers, it sends a signal that goes beyond the financial markets. It speaks directly to those who are ready to recognize opportunity. Many see volatility and panic, but the wise see patterns, cycles, and moments where strategic action can redefine their future. Silver is not just a commodity. It is a tangible store of value, a hedge against uncertainty, and a pathway to financial resilience. I recall watching silver rise steadily while most people dismissed it, thinking it was just another market trend. Those who acted decisively during that period, acquiring ounces consistently and patiently, positioned themselves to benefit when the surge came, illustrating a fundamental principle. Wealth is built through foresight and discipline, not reaction. One of the most powerful lessons silver teaches is the importance of timing paired with preparation. Waiting for perfect conditions often leads to missed opportunities, whereas consistent, informed accumulation creates leverage over time. Investors who understood this principle were able to capitalize when silver surged, gaining both financial advantage and confidence in their ability to navigate uncertainty. Beyond numbers, silver cultivates a mindset of resilience and strategic thinking. Holding silver is a constant reminder that security is built through action, awareness, and patience. It encourages disciplined habits, teaches the value of delayed gratification, and reinforces the power of compounding decisions over time. Micro-actions, such as setting aside a portion of income to acquire silver, researching market conditions, or observing global trends, may appear small individually, but they accumulate into meaningful impact. Silver also highlights the importance of independence, showing that financial freedom is less about following trends and more about positioning oneself with knowledge and purpose. Those who embrace this approach are not merely investors. They become architects of their own security and opportunity, leveraging silver not just for wealth, but for the freedom to live intentionally and decisively in an unpredictable world.